I'm Jean Atkinson and welcome to this 10-minute moment on setting SMART objectives or SMART goals. Once you actually set SMART goals, you can select sales strategies and activities that are appropriate to the market or audience you want to target. So it is important before you start your sales and marketing activity that you actually have some goals in place. This gives you some focus and it gives you a vision that you need to achieve all the stuff that you're going to set out to achieve in the next month or 12 months. You'll be able to monitor your progress and you'll become more proactive in responding to the nature of business, which obviously is very dynamic. So when people ask you to set goals in business, whether it's just you as a business owner or whether you've got a team of marketers, of salespeople, goals are really important because it focuses everybody. So I have to admit that all the companies I know and work with do have a basic need to increase sales. In all honesty, any business that doesn't want to increase sales wouldn't be around for long. But you know what? Even charities need to create a surplus to reinvest and expand their services. Now, regardless of whether your business has 5 people in it or 30, success depends on your ability to set, communicate and achieve objectives. One popular business acronym is SMART. And this can be applied to any function within the business, from HR and operations through to sales and finance. So if you're in the sales and marketing team, you'll be creating your own objectives, but so will all the other departments as well. Remember, before you create your sales goals and your marketing goals, pull together the full business objectives using the SMART framework. So if you're working for another company, try and get the business goals off the company. I know that can be quite difficult. I've been there many a time working in a company and not being able to get my hands on the business objectives. But, it really does help you. It ensures that your sales and marketing goals and activities are aligned with that of the business. So obviously that makes sense. So what does this acronym stand for? Well, let's start with the S, which refers to specific. So the goal of, for example, we want to increase sales isn't very helpful to anyone. It doesn't tell you specifics such as how you're going to increase sales or where the business is actually coming from. You need to develop a more detailed statement such as increase sales via new customers. This is a specific goal and it will provide focus for the team. You can be more detailed by identifying criteria such as sectors, products, services and geographic areas. So what we've done there is we've just taken one statement such as we want to increase sales and actually put something specific together. So you want to increase sales via new customers. So setting the specific goal is the first thing that you need to do. And once you've done that, you need to think about how you're going to measure that goal, and that's the M. So I am actually a huge advocate of assigning a number to something, but it is a crucial aspect of setting a goal. So, we have to get hands-on with the numbers here. Now, you can make a goal specific, but without a measure in place, you'll find it difficult, I suppose, to track progress. And you will be slow to respond if your goal is slipping away from you. So a suitable measure to include in the first example would be, increase sales via new customers within the healthcare sector by 20% on the previous year. Or we want to increase sales via new customers within the healthcare sector by securing 10 new customers worth £10,000 each. Now, this now puts a measure in place. We've got a figure, we've got a specific goal, and so now when you say that to somebody, they can kind of get a feel for what you actually want to achieve within the department or within the company. But what you've got to really think about is it actually achievable, which is your A. So setting yourself a challenge is a good thing. Don't get me wrong, it can focus the mind, it can motivate your team to achieve that goal. However, there is a big difference between, I suppose, a realistic goal and one which is beyond all realms of possibility. That will actually have the opposite effect on morale and performance. So you need to assess the objective and you need to check that it is achievable. So if your target is to secure 10 new customers at £10,000 each within the healthcare sector, then what are you actually basing this figure on? Have you actually identified an opportunity in the healthcare sector? Maybe you already have a good reputation and customers who can vouch for you, so you can use their case studies and testimonials. Do you actually have the resources to achieve the goal you've set out? So you must take time to just make sure that the goal is realistic, and if it isn't, then adjust it accordingly. So just because, for example, you might want to achieve sales of £2 million within the next 12 months, it doesn't necessarily mean it's achievable at this moment in time. So, in order to achieve each of your goals that you're setting, you have to be willing to set some priorities and make some sacrifices. So you need to ask yourself, what sacrifices are you and your team and your company willing to make to achieve the goal? Because each department will have goals. Hopefully they're all aligned with what the business wants to achieve. So that's always a Brucey bonus. However, you will find other things that are happening within the company that are slightly different to what you have to do. So you really need to make sure that you're willing to sacrifice what needs to be done to set out to achieve what you want to achieve. So, is it achievable is actually kind of a really important one. You've set a specific goal. You've actually put a measure in place. So you're now reflecting on that and saying, can we actually achieve that? You also want to make sure it's actually relevant, which is your R in SMART. So whenever you set a sales goal, you should check that your goals are in line with the business objectives, just like a marketing goal. Is it in line with the business objectives? You also need to look at what's happening within the marketplace. You want to make sure that what you're proposing is relevant to your industry and audience. So in the context of our example, are our products relevant to the healthcare sector? Can we actually compete effectively within the healthcare sector? Do we actually have the appropriate resources in place to assist us in achieving our goal? And, you really need to carry out due diligence at this stage in order to identify and minimise any risks. So again, you said it's achievable, but is it actually relevant? Is it in line with what the company wants to achieve? Or are you actually going off on a tangent and doing something else? But can you actually compete? Do you have the power to do that? Can you compete effectively? Do you have the resources to support you? If it's a yes, you then want to look at the time-bound element of it. So a time frame for this, a beginning and an end. So there's nothing like a deadline to put pressure on. And this is the point at which you can identify whether you have achieved the goal or not. So setting a time frame will give structure to the process and enable you to keep focused on the task in hand. So our final SMART objective would be increase sales via new customers within the healthcare sector by 20% on previous year within the next 12 months. Now, this goal now allows you to go into some detail and think about how sales and marketing activity are going to achieve this objective. And then you can start to begin allocating your resources, tasks, and your responsibilities. So, it's really quite important when you set a goal, be it a personal or a business goal, that you try and take it right through the SMART acronym, really, and make sure that it's specific, it's measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So some further examples of SMART objectives could be, in the current 12 months, increase sales by 20% across our current customer base via our new extended range of complementary products. Or by December the 31st, 2019, we will improve sales conversion rates by 15% across all our qualified leads. Maybe you could do, within the next 6 months, we will add £40,000 of revenue to our business by gaining 6 new clients. We can go deeper by saying they will be acquired via referrals from our existing clients, partners, associates and business. Or within the next 2 years, we will reduce the average sales cycle from 8 months to 5 months through the creation of targeted campaigns, referral marketing and telemarketing to influence the buying process. So, to achieve the above objectives, you need to break these down into more tactical objectives across your team. So marketing need to understand what they're doing, operations, sales, across the full board of the people that are going to help you. And that is setting SMART objectives. They're quite simple once you get your head around it. And hopefully this presentation will help you to give you ideas as to what a SMART objective looks like. So any questions, put them in the comments below. If you like this video, it's been useful, then do give us a like and don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more on this channel. I'm Jean Atkinson and thanks for listening today.